it's a Friday night. Hey, everybody. Sorry we're a little late starting, but Allyson and I were talking about cross country moving and then people with a 1950s mentality. um, so, how's everybody doing? How was everybody's week? Allison's been busy helping her fellow move in. Um, the weather's been on and off here. It's the same thing. Just grateful that some of our fellow readers who live in Texas are okay. They had Beryl come through, and so Thomas, Hershey, um, I know Shazad. He lost power for a while, but he's okay as well. So all of our Texas peeps send you much love, and hope y'all are doing very well. And we have people popping in. We got six already. So the first one, who is work lurking, is Mr. Ramon. Hello, my dear. And I told him, don't work too hard. Wink, wink. Amanda is here, Tropical Empress. And Anne is here. Judith, hello, Judith. All the familiar, friendly faces, so to speak, in chat. Hello, Earl. Earl is joining us.
Hey, everyone.
And let's see. Everyone's happy to sit down and relax. Miss Nancy is here. Good evening,
Hi, Nancy.
Nancy. Yep, we had a very fun show yesterday, an interesting show that Alice and I were just discussing backstage. And let me just take a look down here. See, everyone just saying hello to everyone else. And Teresa Hadarian is here. Hello, Teresa. And Earl says it's been super hot in North Carolina, about 100
Oh,
degrees. Nancy, you didn't tell me it was that hot today. Oh my goodness, girl. Oh no, that would be Ginger. You're in South Carolina. I can never remember which Nancy, because Nancy and Ginger are right next to each other. One of them's in North and one of them's in South. But yeah, even areas of Oregon, we're getting hit with 110 degrees. So yeah,
yeah.
it's summer's going to cook now for a lot of us because of the weather changes. Let me get myself a little bit
My
more.
son's in Tucson, Arizona, and they've been in triple digits for I don't even know how long.
Yeah,
Really,
it gets
really hot
hot.
there.
It does. Not in my mountains, and also
It's
Nancy's in the
very
mountains.
yeah. See, she's in North Carolina in the mountains. That's it's you've got like a little microclimate.
Hello, Lexi. Thank you for joining us. Um, so we had an interesting conversation yesterday. Won't bring up names. Allison and I agree not to. So for some of those in chat, they'll know who what this conversation is based on, and doesn't have to be the whole topic for the night. And Allison and I would be happy to do readings maybe a little bit later, but we know our Friday nights, you never know where they're going to go, and that's what's so much fun about them. Um, we had a Nancy and I have been really discussing and bringing in the forefront a lot about the divine feminine and the balance that needs to be brought between the masculine and the feminine, within ourselves and within society as a whole. And some people, there was an individual who shared that they felt that the divine feminine was enough in the forefront, that we were claiming we were victims, and that we still live in a 1960s mentality. And it's just really hard for some people to understand what we mean about, you know, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, um, the balance that we need to have. And I know sometimes this may be like, conversations where, you know, and I know this pops up a lot in YouTube, and depending on your perspective and how you were raised and what mental what your mentality is. Hey, Lindsay. Um, it's we're all raised with our own, depending on your religion you were raised with, depending on how open-minded or closed-minded possibly a household was, what a particular culture or society. And when you just get away from all that, like Ramona and I were talking about earlier, saying that instead of, maybe focusing on what separates the divine masculine and feminine, or the masculine and the feminine, is maybe coming together to see what he called a threshold, whereas we don't look at, you know, as a male or a female, but what could be the original root energy that is behind all of us and what unites us all together. So I'm going to kind of take a step back, and I'm going to open the up to Allyson and see what she feels and how she wants to add or proceed with. You have any? So I'm not the only one talking.
Well, I didn't see the show, but Heather did share with me, what the subject matter was, and then what all she just said. Mm-hmm. So my whole opinion on this is not going to be as in depth, because I don't know. It's not that I'm not as invested. I just don't. I think some of us are more passionate about all of that than others, and I think that's fine. And I respect like your opinion and feelings, Heather, and anybody else that feels really strongly about this sort of thing. Like me personally, and maybe this is it. It's like, I guess it's in part, it's just where you sit personally on this kind of stuff. Like me, I grew up in a household, we'll just use this part. I grew up in a household where my parents got divorced when I was 6. And my mom I lived with my mom, and so did my sister and I. My sister and I both lived with my mom. And, we of course got child support from my dad and whatever, but my mom was the head of the household, and my mom was a, registered nurse, and, she earned a living and whatever. And it was a very empowering situation. So there was never even any like awareness of anything else, honestly, as weird as that sounds. There just wasn't. That was my environment. And that's an interesting subject too. We could have another time about how your home life is your orbit. And what happens in your household is very, very different from like when you get older and you go to like friends' houses and you like spend the night and you're over there and you kind of like sit back and observe and like, wow, this is different, and that might be good. It might be bad. It might be whatever. I can remember going to friends' houses and just being fascinated that they had sugary cereal that we saw in commercials, because we never had that stuff in my house. So like, you have Captain Crunch. Wow. I've seen that on television, and we never had anything like that. My mom wouldn't buy stuff like that. Anyways, back to the subject. So it's just, I guess I don't know. And I do care that women are treated equally, fairly. And I know that that's not the case in a lot of situations. I know that. Women's pay is a big one.
I brought that up too on the show.
Yeah. And also same could be said for like the difference between boys and girls and how they're raised, and from a young age and how they're treated and all that. Now that has shifted and changed and grown here and there to some degree. My son is 22 years old. He was raised, we were in Northern California at the time. That's a very progressive area. And my son had a Waldorf education, which is old fashioned in a way, but yet it's very, very, very organic. And so like my son was never told, not to cry, or he was always encouraged to feel his emotions. And my son has always worn pink, for an example, and loved pink. Still, it's one of his favorite colors, and he looks gorgeous in it. I'm just saying things that are like, this is male and this is female and all of that. And I think it's very important, or a good thing. And I might be getting slightly off, but not really. All of this stuff is divine feminine, divine masculine. So it's like trying to I think like me, I've always had a lot of masculine traits. And I think I get that from my mom. My mom was never a girly girl, and I'm not a girly girl at all. I have no problem with anybody that is a girly girl. And what I mean by girly girl is, like really feminine stuff, you identify with it. And I think a lot of us are both, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I don't wear makeup and dye my hair and wear high heels and dresses and do all these things that are considered feminine, but yet
Mhm.
I feel very feminine. Like I totally identify with the whole, you know, um, maiden mother crone, right? I went through all
Mhm.
of that. And just, and again, I feel like all these things are part of what you're talking about. And it might not be
Mhm.
exactly what you wanted to discuss. And I'm
Mhm.
happy to delve more deeply into all of this. I think that everybody to some degree carries both
Mhm.
um,
They do.
energies. And I think that they both should be honored, to be perfectly honest. I think that it's not fair that how in certain, but this is life, this is
Yeah.
earth.
Well, this guy
But
felt like the men were being have been become demonized, the masculine divine,
yeah,
and
but
it's not true.
also, yeah,
Well, in
also,
some circles, yes, but at the same time, again, like you mentioned already,
it depends on
women
the
are still
audience
paid
where you
less.
are. Same
We're
could
being
be.
told what to do with our bodies. They're trying to get some of us not to be able to. I mean, it's just there's
Oh, the
still that
political. See, I
strong
don't see. And
white
again, I don't
matriarchal.
watch any of that stuff. I'm not involved in it. And some people are like, oh, well,
Neither
you
am
need
I,
it.
but
No,
I
I
see it.
don't. I don't. I get involved in what I want to get involved in. Um, and that's the other thing. Like the whole. Yeah. See, that's more political. That's not.
Well, it's also it's infiltrating our society though. A lot of these young women now, and even women, and depending on what state you're in, that's why I don't get involved with politics and stuff. But it's very real that a lot of these states and laws are being passed where a woman's again's right to have an abortion or to choose to have a child is being questioned. Of course, YouTube. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is my opinion that I'm sharing, just as Allison shares her
You're
own.
not saying anything. It's not true.
And so, we're still being dictated, and they're still trying to tell us what we can and cannot do with our bodies. Um, you know, it's it's insane the amount of. I mean, again, I could go on, and this is supposed to be a kind of like a not Friday, like I want to keep it a high vibe show, but it's just something that
It's
when
not a topic for that.
this individual mentioned that we're stuck in the 60s and that we're being the victim, I was like, no, I am not a victim. I am a survivor. A lot of women are. And it's some people just, and some people in chat were saying, well, you know what? Some people can't handle a strong woman. A lot of people are still raised in households with that mentality, even to this day, that a woman's job is to um, be a wife, have kids, and that's it, and not to have any say. I mean, I have family members who are married to men, and it's like it's crazy that there are things that they can't talk to me about or they can't do because, well, if I have to be home or my husband's going to be angry, or I can't say this because my husband doesn't like that. I mean, it's just still it's women are just still a minority, considered a
Okay.
minority in the world. And
In America, though, if you're in a situation like that, that's something that you just need to get out of and you need to leave.
yeah, but still something that goes on. There's still that
Right, because
mentality
they
that women are
stay.
raised. Well, that's how they're raised. That's how they're expected to, and they become
Right,
so
and you need to
ingrained in
figure
that
your way out of that.
they don't see any way out. So and Amanda says many men are
But that's the
intimidated
problem.
by a strong woman and want to cry foul what that women are screaming victim when in most cases that's not the case. But that guy did strike a nerve with me last night. Yeah, he struck a nerve with a lot of us.
And
But
hold
at the
on, I
same
want to
time,
say something. What you were just talking about, women staying and dealing with, that's not being a strong woman. It's not.
it's not. Oh, we lost Allison. That was not me. Oh, that's weird. That's the second time that's happened tonight. There she
There we
is.
go.
She came back.
All I was
That
going to
was so
say
weird.
is, and I'm not saying it's easy, and I'll just get right to the point.
No, it's not.
You can't be in a controlled situation. If you're strong, you're not going to stay. And if you're weak, you're going to stay. But that, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that was the conditioning for your upbringing and the situation that, or relationship that you've settled for and whatever. And that's part of that person's, that's going to get spiritual. That's just part of what they're supposed to figure out in this lifetime. And I'm not making light of it. I'm just saying, I mean,
my whole point is just the fact that women is still across the world, even in our country, is still
other
a
countries,
minority, and there's so much oppression.
Right. I was talking about America here.
And, you know, and then there are some that are so terrified they can't leave. I mean, I have a family member who had an abusive husband. I don't know how she survived those years. Finally, the one night when the gun was pulled out and held her head and pulled, and there was nothing in there. When that individual passed out, grabbed herself, grabbed the kids, and ran. But still, there is a. I mean, there's a fear that is instilled in a lot of women, and I don't think it's being weak. I think they are actually genuinely terrified, and because of threats made to them by, this could be an abusive husband or an abusive woman.
Yeah, that's an emotionally damaged person that is so traumatized they can't move and leave.
And that doesn't make them, when I say weak, see, I have an issue with the word. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yes, exactly. You have an issue with the word.
I mean, they're strong to be able to survive that, and to not take, and some endure that, they stay to protect children, to protect, because
they're beat down. I was in an abusive relationship. It wasn't physical, but it was mental and emotional. And it was not a little situation. And I have friends and people that I know that were in physical situations, and I get it. It is a big deal, and it's a very big deal, but it does make I'm not getting hung up on the definition. You are in a weak, vulnerable position when you stay. That's how I feel about it. And it's because of what you're enduring day after day after day. It's toxic. It's damaging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
to still be able to survive,
you're resilient to stay alive and stay in it. Yeah. But are you strong? I don't know. I'm not, whatever. It's just a difference of opinion of the words being used.
Quite possibly. So I think maybe we'll move on to another topic.
Like I said, that's a tough one to talk about. Yeah.
Because I don't know, because of the experiences. I've never been in that type of relationship, but I have seen people very close to me that have been. And in some circumstances, I've been caught in the middle of a very toxic relationship. And sometimes I have taken that stance as well. But then when I meet more women who describe what they've been through physically, emotionally, mentally, I don't find them the word weak, because to me, resilient is strong for them to be able to survive. And sometimes, like this one particular person, I was like, you know what? She could have, moved on, but because she was raised in that mentality that the husband is always right, I have to do what they say.
Right, it's a brainwash.
And there's that fear of, not find anybody else, or being alone and having children, and knowing the parent, one parent that was negative in their life, and what that parent did to them, and that parent's subsequent, brother did. I sometimes was like, it's like I'm less judgmental in that way, just because I see and have seen, being in my mental health groups, women from all different sorts of walks of life, you name it, coming from all sorts of experiences. And
I do too. It's not like I don't. I dated a guy for 6-7 years. His mother and his real father, he used to see his mom get her ass beat on a regular basis. He was fighting his dad physically fighting his dad, and he was a little tiny kid. This went on for years
Mhm.
in the home, and it did a number on her. She did finally leave. He beat her head in with a crowbar, left metal in her skull, and she had it removed years later. I mean, it's not like I'm not aware of this stuff and what these women go through. It's crazy.
Yeah. But
And I know another woman too, but that one that I just described was horrific, and it did a number on her, and she was never right after that because of the brain damage that she incurred. It's horrible, but she had to finally figure out a way to leave, and she did. But for her, it was going into the hospital, and then the state got involved, and then she didn't have to go back because she didn't do it on her own.
And for some of these women, the police and the court systems can't protect them.
Yeah, it depends on where you live, and also you got to be willing to come forward and admit what really happened.
And a lot of women don't talk. Wait until something happens, like where I live, the police won't do anything unless something physically actually happens to one of us here. God forbid. But I'm saying, so for some of these women, to me, they're not weak. They're just terrified because the fear is so real for them.
You're broken down. Okay, I'm not. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of the word weak. I'm just saying you're broken down. You're abused. You're scared shitless. You're frozen. A lot of them are PTSD. I mean, it's whatever you want to call it. It's a compromised position. We don't have to use the word weak, but you're not standing strong and powerful. You're being controlled, and it's mind numbing, and it's abuse.
Yeah. And that's why with those comments yesterday, it just kind of, it was just like, yeah. But I think Karen, we had some people come in. I think Karen and Tom is here too. So let's see. Like Tropical Empress says here, I will give an example. Men have this idea that Asian women are submissive, and as a result, men in the States think that way and expect women like myself, who is part Asian, to be and act that way. So there's a lot of stigma and stuff that needs to be and I'm just backing up really quick. Exactly. It's a lot hard to get out because they make you feel like you are unable to. And then they also threaten,
and there's brainwashing in the home.
Yeah. And
you're gaslit.
Gaslit.
Yep.
Your family's threatened. And sometimes these women, when they do escape,
or they're going to take the kids away or whatever.
And they still find the women. And a lot of times, especially in the news now, I'm seeing a lot of crime things that come up. Women who try to escape and try to move on. Somebody even in our own circle finally got away from an abusive relationship, and we're so thankful that she's doing better now. And let's see, I just want to make sure I said hello to everybody coming in.
And one other thing, when physical abuse is involved, and a lot of people don't really think about this, and you can look this up and research this, after you've had, especially the frontal lobe, after you've had several head injuries, you don't think as clearly. You can't plan as well. You can't, there's just a lot of, and it's not just this part of the brain. There's a lot of, but I'm just saying head injuries do play a role in all this. It really does.
And I see that in one of my loved ones says that's in my family.
Especially when you have, any head injury, but like smaller women with men are usually bigger, right? But especially if there's a sizable difference and there's fighting, it's just, I don't want to go into detail, but it's like I was talking about my friend's parents. She was my size. And his dad was a big dude. It's like, it's just, it's gross. Yeah,
it is. And Isadora said, and it's great, they want the country to be a Christian nation. And so when women start to, gain power and have say, and take more control over their lives, they feel threatened by that. Empress says, I decided against doing my live show last night because of it. Because of that gentleman? Well, I don't call him a gentleman. Well, he didn't cuss, he didn't curse. He said he was thankful, that I respected his opinion, and he would, but that was it. It was that was just the end of the conversation. So Amanda, I'm sorry if that that experience kept you from doing your live last night.
Don't let anybody's comment just
Aline.
live in you.
Peace Mama is here. Hello, Peace Mama. Aunt Garnet says, I can't understand all the young living on the streets on substances. It really hurts me to see. There should be groups helping set up places safe for these people. Yeah, and Garnet, a lot of times too, there's some that just they don't want the help. There are people like in my area who choose to live that way, and you can't force them to do something that they can't. But there needs to be stronger programs in place in areas to be able to help
And the
these people.
substances are only more and more and more intense. So the addiction is that much harder to,
Exactly.
And that's the drug talking that you don't want help. It's not even
And Tom says everyone's situation is different too, so it's hard to compare one to one. It is. That's why when that was like that clear cut, like, well, you're all living in the sixth day, da da da. And I'm just like, yeah. And Allison, oh, not Allison, Ange goes, change of topic. Okay, my dear. Moira, hello, welcome. Care Bear is here. Karen, hello, my dear. Tom says, yeah, bubbly Karen will brighten up the mood here. I'm sorry, everybody. It's just I just
you bring up a negative topic, it's gonna turn negative. Yep.
And Earl says, I think we should change the topic and bring some more positive energy in here. So, all right, everybody, what would you like to talk about? Yeah, Nancy. I was okay until I don't know. It was quiet, and then all of a sudden, it was just like, "Meow." Let's see. So yeah, Karen was sharing too that South Carolina is a poop state to live in for protection and emotion. Most of them aren't. Hello, Christina from Australia. Hello, my dear. Hope you're having a beautiful morning. And Earl says, I realize that this is a sensitive and tough subject, but let's be strong and put some positive vibes here. Alrighty. Let's find something else too. So how about them crystals? Tom says. And Peace Mama says that early ritual. What's your favorite crystal? So here we go with the crystals. Everyone's still wondering what that crystal is. Allison, or that stone.
I will get over to that store.
But she's been very busy. Everybody,
I'll find out.
Yeah, her sweetheart's been moving, and she's been helping them. It's always nice to have when your sweetie lives closer. To
yes,
you.
He's gonna be very close. It takes you like 7 minutes to get there. It's very close.
Hello, Miss Tarot D. Kind of high from today's treatment, but I'll try to behave. Oh, you can go ahead and misbehave. We got to change up the energy anyways, Miss Tarot D. So, did we want to do readings? Did we want to bring up a different topic? What's everybody in the mood for? Let me know. I'm going to light some Palo Santo. And well, actually, while we're thinking about it, on July 22nd, Allison's going to be joining Nancy and I for our Divine Feminine on Monday. So it'll be nice to have Allison be able to join Nancy and I for one of our shows. It'll be nice to have her. And tomorrow night, Tom, can I go ahead and confirm that you're going to be joining me for a Saturday night chill? And if you do and you can, I'll let Jeff know. And it'll always be interesting what we'll be talking about on a Saturday night. But
I'm going to go turn my air conditioning up.
All righty. Take a quick sip.
Getting here. Cold in here.
I got to have my fan on. So what would everybody like to talk about? My apologies if I brought the mood down. I know Fridays are supposed to be upbeat and fun and laughing. Yeah, Tom, that's okay. All righty. No one's really putting any topics in. Do we want to maybe open up for any type of reading that people would like to have? We could do readings. I got a couple of my decks with me. I got my Hush Tarot. I've got my Artist Decoded here. I got some oracles. Peace Mama, how about we talk about protecting ourselves from negative energy?
Ooh, that's a good subject.
Yeah, well, there we go. Thank you, Peace Mama. Well, I know Allison's more involved with the magic or the energy work. For
Kind
me,
of.
I do, I put the white light, I call Archangel Michael, and that's pretty much my extent of, but I know there's some people. I think you've mentioned black salt that you use, or salt or sage. I know
Nope.
Miss Tarot D. Nope. Oh, okay. Well
Not
then,
me.
no. Oh, well, I think maybe that was Miss Tarot D who mentioned
Yeah,
once the
maybe it was
black
her.
salt. Okay.
Yeah. Although black salt is really cool. I've contemplated making it. I learned how to do that. Not that it's terribly detailed and anybody can look that up. I just haven't done it. But black salt is actually really cool. But nope, don't use it. Haven't used it.
So for protection, what do people in chat have to offer? There are
And
a
I
lot
can
of,
talk about it if you want. What
yeah,
I
we can,
do. If
yeah.
okay. So it depends on what we're talking about, like just general, or if you're just talking about like before you read, or like if it's protection from a situation or that kind of thing. And I'm not professing to be an expert at all, but I have read a little bit over the years, and then I've also kind of gone with just what it's kind of like. It's similar to like how you choose a deck, right? You just know, maybe not if you do it online or whatever, but like if you're in a store or you pick a crystal and you just know, or I do, doesn't mean I'm always right, but these days I am right, because I've been delving into this kind of stuff for so long that I know what's my mind, and I know what's my spirit team or my guides or whoever the heck it is that's directing me. um Protect yourself from going online. Yeah. So for me, I wear my pentagram necklace. I never take it off. And that's just for general protection. And I have my evil eye bracelet. I always have that on.
Oh,
And I
great.
do believe in this stuff. I really do. But I also think that's part of it, is absolutely believing in it. Not that it wouldn't work if you didn't believe in it, but I really do think that it makes a difference. I do have some, being a little redundant here, because I know we kind of delved into this a little bit a couple weeks ago, but it was under a different direction with what we were talking about. But I have a lot of black stones right by my door.
Yeah.
I have I'm about to lose it. I think I have a beautiful gargoyle statue that belongs to Anthony. That's my partner. And it's here. I think it's probably going to go to his new place though, and it should be there. He won't ask for it back, but I think it should be there. But I have a beautiful gargoyle by the door, which I've really enjoyed having. I actually have a couple gargoyles by the door. In black stones, I have a pentagram underneath the mat at my front door that I did in the correct direction and all that kind of stuff. Just little things, it's just what I feel drawn to. And then I have my altar that I stand at and do my whole thing. Not every day, but most days. And I ask for protection from my whole, what I call my spirit team and soul family, which consists of several ancestors, Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Metatron. And then I also call on my spirit of hawk, owl, raven, crow, and eagle, and my personal angels and guides. And there's a whole way that I go through calling on that and asking for protection for me and my son and his spirit team and soul family. Blah, blah, blah. So I do all that. So I work at my altar, the stuff that I physically wear. And before I read, I do something very similar to what I just described at my altar. And I always pray over my cards right before a reading actually begins. I do that. I do knock on my deck. I've always done that. I always have usually a clear quartz sitting on each deck. Does that really do anything? That isn't really protection. That's more like for heightening and clarifying and all that kind of stuff. I used to have, I wouldn't call that protection though. But those are the only things that I can think of that I do with any regularity. Now I have done other stuff that would probably fall more under of I don't know what you call it, spell work or witchy woo or whatever.
Witchy woo.
But
I like that.
I've only done a couple things, and it was to protect me from. I know how to do a lot of stuff, but I haven't really ever, like, I've been more of a student than actually executing anything. I've come very close to doing a couple things with some situations that were in my orbit years ago and didn't end up doing it. But I really do think as long as you don't overcomplicate it and you're very passionate about what you're doing, like if you're looking for protection for something, I really do think that it can be successful. And it really can work. For me, the whole ancestor thing, which years ago, I probably wouldn't have even thought that that's a thing. I really do think calling in ancestors that you truly identify with and maintain a regular, true relationship and honor them and putting out like offerings and that kind of stuff, and really truly connecting and honoring their birthday and lighting a candle or, that kind of stuff. I really do think that you can get and do get help in communication. If but it's a relationship. It's a working relationship. In my opinion, in my experience with my, the people that and it's not like all my ancestors, I have absolutely handpicked, who it is. But I honor and acknowledge, just my family as a whole and, all of that. But there's certain ones that I talk to and address and have their photos out and on the calendar, the birthdays and anniversaries and all that kind of stuff. So, but that's what I do for protection.
So I have been sharing, highlighting. So Miss Tarot D, her recommendation is condoms, condoms, condoms. Latex is the best protection. And Thomas agrees. No love if you ain't got that glove, Miss Tarot D. So, going through the you gotta love those two. Christina, I think we first should be grounding ourselves. Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yep.
That's a great suggestion. And Tom says belief is 100% the number one ingredient.
Yep, now. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And knowing
your and it sounds so crazy to say it, I guess, but like knowing how powerful you are, and you are, if you know that you are. Yep.
And Ms. Tarot D said to Tom, so true, breath work is an important part of creating protections. It sure is. Breathing is in him. I couldn't highlight Miss Tarot D because my StreamYard was being funky with my mouse, and so it wasn't letting me do it. But just really quick too. Tropical Empress said I use black tourmaline, black obsidian, and selenite crystals I use for protection.
I love selenite.
I have a daily ritual for protection, and I also say a prayer before I tune in or read the cards. And so let me see now if I can go back to chat and it'll let me re-click on what I want to, because it was really being funny before. I know Peace Mama. I'm so sorry to hear this. I'll try the black stones and breathing more. I got attacked hard earlier online. Very vile and abusive. I've been working to shake that off and return to center. Well, I don't know if that was on YouTube or if that was on social media, but every time before I go on and do a live, I have my Palo Santo right here. I burn it and I call in Archangel Michael, ask him to keep me safe and protected from any and all negative energies, spirits, energies, intent from spirits around me that would be drawn to my light from this area or through people in chat that I can and cannot see. I call in, other spirit guides to, protect. I've got my grandma now over my shoulder all the time. So I'm sorry, honey, that you went through that. No one should do that. And Ms. Tarot T says, I find a lot of people tend to hold their breath when reading or grounding. And you got to keep that energy, that breath moving and flowing so that
so much fear. so much fear and anxiety in this whole, it just blows my mind. Don't let people come into your energy. Don't allow it. Somebody wants to come in and block their ass and get them out and say, be gone. You are not allowed here. And repel that. Do not let that shit into do not. And I get it. Not everybody can do that. But it's like, practice it. Fake it till you make it. Just do whatever. But it's like, do you see how dragging that is? It's terrible. And I'm so sorry. I hate it. Makes me mad. It's like, no, absolutely not. No, especially when you're of the light and doing the right thing and doing good things. It's like, fuck that. No. Mm-mm.
And Miss Tarot D says, I feel that Allyson is a natural witch and would
Thank
be a
you.
good one if she would just let go and trust herself.
I do, girl. Totally. Oh my God. Technically, I'm a 4th generation witch. I just don't really practice it. Like, I've known stuff since I was a little girl. I've just known stuff. I don't necessarily act on it because I just don't really. Actually, no. And I'll be very brief. And I know we've talked about this on one of Heather's show. I was doing stuff when I was little and didn't even realize I was doing it. And it was more like mental manipulation type stuff of things. I'll just leave it at that. And it's just like, it's the whole just, I don't know. Just don't. Yes, be grounded. Put up your shield. Don't allow people's shit in. Just do not. No. Mm-mm. And it's toxic.
Yeah, it is. And Amanda says, I'm sorry to hear that, Peace Mama. It's important to do a daily ritual, just like you said. I do it first thing in the morning and before I go to bed. But I also say a prayer of protection and ask my spirit team. Plus, I burn white sage and Palo Santo. And I love the Palo Santo. I feel more attuned to the Palo Santo than I do the white sage.
Yeah,
Palo Santo. I feel like I get more grounded with it too.
Yeah, I don't care for sage.
Loves it. Sometimes he gets happy with it, he rolls around in it. Sorry.
Peace Mama, put a mirror around yourself. Visualize that and see it. Yeah, do all the grounding stuff, but this is something I used to do, and I forgot all about this. I used to do this all the time. And it was when I was going through my divorce and all this stuff like 10, 12 years ago. If you want, try putting it, visualizing it, seeing it, and you can even do it repeatedly throughout the day, whatever, but picture a mirror around you, a sphere, a mirror. You are inside this mirror, and everything that's not of high vibration or, the light, whatever you want to call it, is repelled away. It cannot touch you. It cannot come in. You can't come near me. Return to sender. Thoughts, negative energies, all of that. Do not allow it. It works. It absolutely works. Try to not be afraid of things. Just usually your fear is bigger than anything that would ever happen.
And Tom says, do not let these assholes live rent-free in your head.
That's right.
And Miss Tarot D, Peace Mama, I'm so sorry. Sending healing light your way. You are now and surrounded in a circle of love by so many in this chat community tonight. And you are so right, Miss Tarot D. And she also said, I stood up for myself. I can be a little snarky, so good for you, sweetheart.
Yes.
And she also, let's see, Chris Queen, who is new in our chat. Welcome. Has been chatting a little bit. I like this. Sorry that happened to you. As just a muggle, I don't know much, but I find watching something that makes me laugh is the best antidote to negativity too.
And I don't know if that was on a live, if she was doing lives, or she had somebody in that was being a troll or whatever. And I don't do lives, but I'll tell you what, I will at some point. And it's just because my internet connection sucks and this and that, whatever. And at some point, I'll do something about that. But anyways, what I would do personally, and I will do this, you guys will see me doing this once I actually do lives. Any of you that pop in to see me, you will just be blocked. Not you, but whoever's doing that. I won't even address it. I would just blocked, done, keep it moving. Don't even acknowledge it. Don't talk about it. Don't address their comment. Nothing. You're just gone. That's
And
it.
Peace Mama says that's an excellent idea. A mirror. I can do that. Their projections
Yep.
project back
And
on
just
themselves. I love it, she
just
said.
practice it, honey, and then it just works.
And I don't know where this is happening, Peace Mama. You didn't get death threats this time.
Oh God.
So I'm not
So,
afraid. Just a
just
little
don't
ouch.
just
I don't
don't
know where
even
this
read
is,
them.
my dear.
As soon
Yeah,
as you
just
see anything, especially I've
yeah.
noticed that a lot of times when there's these weird people that come in, almost always the thumbnail picture can be an indicator, the name can be an indicator, or like as soon as you see anything, yeah, just and haven't and again, and I'm sorry, I don't know what exactly went down from the way you worded it, but if it was on a live, whatever, make sure you have enough moderators, people that you can really trust, and just as first whiff of anything, make sure people aren't too, make sure that it truly is a trolley type situation, and just block that shit and keep it moving. I wouldn't even comment on it. Nope. Give
So,
no
Peace
energy to
Mama,
it.
do you have a channel, or is this something like on Facebook or Instagram? I'm just curious because death threats, oh my goodness, they should be
Yeah,
automatically reported to authorities,
yeah, and plus they don't know, and that's another reason though I should say that don't be saying where you are and this and that. It's like, oh, how are you gonna kill me exactly? People are just tripping. That's crazy.
Yeah. So protection is good. That was good that we had
Stop
that
being
conversation.
afraid. Yeah, have your power, be empowered, and just tell people to screw off.
And Amanda
People are
says,
so brave on their keyboard. Oh, and
"Oh
death
yeah,
threats, this, that. What it's like, you don't even know my name. Crackhead. Just nuts. And look, and then she's worried about it. Or it got her upset or it bothered her throughout the day. That's not right. Don't give them that power. Don't.
Yeah. So you just block them, no matter where you
Yes.
are, and ignore.
Report it over and over and over. Whatever. Do not give. No. Mm-mm.
Oh, so you do. So you do have a. Well, I don't know if you have a channel, but it says Ange. That was a few years ago. It's social media. Okay, I have about 8,000 followers, and they usually jump in.
Yeah, it's probably not even
So
real people.
yeah, or
Especially with
people
a
who have nothing
big
else
channel
better
like
to
that or a
do.
big following. I don't know what about, like, my son does TikTok and all that stuff. He's got I don't even know. He's got a lot. And you get stuff on a case. It's not even real.
Allyson, I let these bitches know I'm in the Bronx. Love to see the come up to the Bronx and try to fight a drag
Right?
queen with anger issues.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like people don't even, it's like, give me a break. And look at a big, it's like, I'm a little tiny person. It doesn't matter. It's like, you're not going to intimidate me. It's just not, especially over a keyboard. Oh, it's just like it's so gross.
Yeah.
And it's just mean and ugly and nasty.
And we're seeing a lot of that mostly now too, because of everything going on in this country and around the world. People are feeling more emboldened to be an ass, and because they
behind
see
a keyboard.
And so now they're all doing it everywhere on social media. Until
it's like, if you don't like the subject matter, just move along. Just go. Just don't even be here.
I always say that I have a cane and I'm licensed to carry. Yeah, when Shan used to have to walk to work at night when he worked midnights, I used to worry about him, especially before it even got as bad as it was now here. And he would walk with his walkie. He had a walking stick that he would use in the woods that he would walk with. And after a while, Walmart told him, "Well, you can't bring that into the store. You can't walk with that to the store and bring it in because we consider that a weapon." And it's like, it's a walking stick. I use it to walk, and for me it's protection on the way here. They didn't care. It's a weapon, and
Time to go work somewhere else.
Well, that was the only job he had there for a while. So
right, that's what I'm saying. And that's a good thing we could talk about another time. Not mean to change the subject, but when stuff shows itself, like something like that, right? Like that's your employer putting something on you can't really push back on. When stuff like that shows up in our life, and I've had stuff similar, and I could give examples if we ever wanted to talk about that kind of stuff. That's the universe showing up. It's time to do something different, or we don't have to. You have a choice. It's probably a better way to put it. Mm-hmm. You can stay and deal with whatever the nonsense is, or you move forward, right? And these kind of situations show up in our life all the time. That's interesting. It just made me think of that. That would be an interesting topic.
Well, that was the only job that he could get. This was when we first moved here, and that was the only job. And he was, when you get to a certain pay rate, and work was hard to find, and a lot of these companies know that people are trapped and they can't get out, because how else are they going to afford bills and pay food and stuff like that? So a lot of this mentality keeps people trapped. And now because of us having COVID, and shut down, and YouTube, don't demonetize. I'm not getting monetized, but don't flag me, because they don't like the people mentioning the C word. But this is just in conversation. But a lot of people, when they had to stay home and work, or they were able to stay home and still get paid, they realized what they were doing to their bodies, what they were doing to their mental health, because they were able to finally get away from that toxicity of that type of job and way of work. And a lot of people now, they don't want to go back to that job, or go back to work, because the shitty wages, the way that they're run into the ground. Shan has a book called Dying for a Paycheck, and it talks about how corporations run their people into the ground, to the point to where they're almost dead, because that's their only means of of living, of survival. So yeah, this whole mentality. And I know there's the energy going down again, I'm sorry, y'all. But it's just, when we had lockdown, even though that was a really bad time and we lost people, it was also an opportunity for a lot of us to see that life could be different. And I think that helped, start, a new kind of revolution, you might want to say, especially with the spiritual community. A lot of people started learning about tarot and reading, started learning about that they had abilities themselves. They could trust their intuition. They found that they could share their reading, and give messages. And so it really helped really bring a lot of people closer to the light, in some cases, with the shutdown. And so yeah, I think things are going to get better, but there's going to be a hell of a lot of hard times ahead. But you have to rebuild. It's like the tower card. You have to knock it all down, and then you just start rebuilding, brick by brick. And I think that a lot of the young people coming in are seeing that, and they're going to really help rebuild the world on a whole, spiritually. And as long as we stay grounded and centered and in that light, and we can encourage and empower them, they'll see that life could be better, and that gives them the encouragement and the empowerment to to want better and to do better for themselves, and for the world. So um, let's see. Peace, Mama. Call upon the spirit of a fierce drag queen and stand in your truth. We should all have a drag queen name, you know. Like the other night, they gave Scott Scorpio blueberry cheesecake. That's his drag queen name. So we should all have our own, like, inner drag queen, name, and call on her, for that. And Earl says, Heather, I think it's time for a hug and a cleansing. Okay, so getting too heavy again. Oh, sorry, Earl. Sometimes, stuff comes out, and I'll definitely will. Oh, so Lexi wants. Are we going to do any car pulls tonight? Do you think we're in the energy?
I don't want to read in this kind of. I mean, and I didn't do any of my stuff prior. I mean, I can do a quick little whatever, but I didn't tune in with. I didn't do my whole thing at my altar because I didn't think we were reading. But I can still pull cards. Just give me a second.
So Lexi, we can do a message. Now you're going at 9. What time do you have to go? Because I know Anthony with Anthony
He's
being
not
so
here.
small?
He's home.
Okay.
He's. I might go over there later. I don't know. He's
Okay.
had a
So
long day. He's probably just crashed, and I'm just going to stay here with my dogs. But no, I'm good for now.
okay. So Lexi would like a reading. Lexi, is there anything specific? Allison and I do not do politics. We do not do third party. And what third party is, let's say you were to ask us, what does a certain person, what are their thoughts or feelings? And for us, that's going into a
I'm going to
person's
get some
energy
incense.
without their permission. So we don't do third party readings. And when it comes to like health and like legal, Allison and I are not doctors or professionals.
We're not.
And well, for legal and for health.
I'm being
Oh,
sarcastic, obviously.
well, I thought I said something off that well, yeah, no, we're not.
You said we're not legal. What did you say? We're not doctors
We're
or
not
lawyers or
professional
something. I'm like,
doctors
oh,
or
we're not.
lawyers or legal or something. No, well, yeah, no.
I'll read on anything though, you guys. Really, I'm just, it's just this is for entertainment purposes only. But we'll do what she said. But I mean, honestly, me personally, I don't care. You're not supposed to do anything based on what we say anyway. Honestly, this is for entertainment.
So, and Earl would like a message too.
Okay.
So I guess we're opening up for. So I'm just gonna let me put Lexi's back. Oops, Lexi, where did you go? So Allison can see your name and connect with your energy here. She goes,
Let me just.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go quiet for just a second here.
Okay. Alrighty, and I already did my stuff behind the screen, so I'm going to go ahead before the show. I did my stuff, so, and I got my Palo Santo. So, all right, just a quick little. So you want to start a business from home? Okay. Well, I'm here. Let me put that deck aside and let me grab this one instead. I'll use my Artist Decoded Tarot. It's a creativity deck. Well, it's a tarot deck, but it really encourages people how to get in touch with their creativity as well. Hello, Brenda, my dear. Everybody, Brenda Tarot also has a channel, a lot like Care Bear does as well. Miss Tarot D, please be sure to go and be sure to subscribe. Brenda does live readings on the weekends. Sundays with I haven't been in a while, Brenda. I'm sorry. I completely forgot her name. But yeah. Brenda Tarot. So Lexi did have a question. And she's thinking about wanting to start a business from home.
Whoa.
Wow. Too many cards, Lexi.
And go ahead. I'm straightening out my deck that wants to be a mess.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Who are we reading for? Lexi. I was wanting to start a business from home. What's the question?
Well, she wants to start a business from home, so she wants to see what the energy is around that. About starting a business from home. Let's see. Can I get a card for Lexi wanting to start a business?
What kind of business, Lexi?
Okay, so Lexi, I got right off the bat the 8 of Wands. So this is really something that you really want to do. The 8 of Wands is all about movement, things moving forward, things picking up speed. So this idea, the ideas are coming, they're fast. It seems like you're really planning a lot. The energy is this is like really propelling you forward. The next card I did get was the 2 of Swords. And the 2 of Swords, there's some decisions that you have to make. I'm not sure. This could be, like the details of this business. I do readings as a medium. Oh, that is very cool. Okay. So the Two of Swords is about decision making, um, things that need to be planned out ahead of time, kind of looking at things from both angles. From home, this could be home public, whether to do maybe, sorry, do a live on your or do in person, but whatever there is, there's a lot of not a lot of, but there are decisions. And here, let me pull another card. There's all sorts of decisions when it comes to doing a business. So many things that you need to have in place, licenses and um, you know, advertisement, social media. So let's just see, because I'm getting some good cards here. Let me see the Two of Swords, Nine of Cups. So whatever these decisions are, they're happy ones. You're excited. You're making decisions how you want to lay things out. The Nine of Cups, success, enjoyment, happiness. And there you are, sitting in your chair at home and just enjoying the success, enjoying being able to read for people. I see this is something that brings you a lot of joy, helping people. I got the Four of Wands, which is about celebration, foundations. This has to do with home, family, any sort of celebration. So, again, beautiful energy moving forward. I am going to pull another card though, because the overall energy on the bottom is the moon. And the moon typically is not a bad card, but the moon shows us things. And for the moon too, being psychic and intuitive, um, that's going to, that, of course, obviously that plays a big role. But I think not only is the moon about, the light shining. Okay, this is what I'm getting. So for me, what I feel about the moon is that your gifts, or where you may feel like you want to help people, is doing shadow work. I hope that's not becoming too trite of a phrase in our community, but shadow work is very real. It's important to do. It helps people through deep traumas, or even small things that might still feel heavy on them, but things in the past, possibly past lives, and just connecting with that intuitive psychic part of yourself, showing people that they have it too, and helping shed that light into other people's shadows, to help them heal, giving them the tools to help them heal, to whether they're messages from loved ones or things from past lives that they're working through. And not just past life, but also because, as we get older, we have our own small lives within ourselves. I mean, we're very different. I'm like 53 now, so my life was very different in my 20s, 30s, my teens. So we do have these many past lives within our physical life. And let me just pull another card for the moon. So I usually like to get a clarifier for like court cards, or for major arcana. That sounds wonderful, Lexi. King of Pentacles. So I'm going to grab my book for the King of Pentacles, because the King of Pentacles is about finances, stability, um, getting grounded, being in control. All night, my hair wasn't bothering me. Now it's getting in my face as I'm trying to talk. So, and this book is incredible. I love reading from this book. It is The Artist Decoded. And with the King of Pentacles, and they just give wonderful prompts for creativity, but business acumen. So if you're going into business, perfect card.
Yes.
You'll have leadership. You have the leadership. You have the responsibility. You're practical. Financial success. It says right here, financial success, or stepping into a more significant leadership role. I like this. It just says as a heads up, and don't be blinded by the mirage of material accumulation or the seduction of power. And I know that that's not you, because that's how you're going to lead. That's how you're going to show people. So that's how you're going to show how you lead, how you do your readings, how you approach your readings. Um, and I think this, it looks really good. So yeah, that's what I have for you. And Allyson will be back. So wonderful card. I love this moon card. Isn't this one of the most gorgeous moon cards you have ever seen? I love it. It looks like there's crystals and there's flowers and just everything just blossoming in and around this full moon. And let's get Allyson back on stage here, and I will give it over to her, and I'll let you know.
Here
You
we go.
need you need the finances. Well, it looks like with that decision making, you're going to be reaching out to people. You have that King of Pentacles. You have that business acumen. You have that sense of leadership. You'll be able to present yourself and get the funding I feel that you need. Um, all good cards, Lexi. And Allyson, Lexi's business that she wants to do reading. She's a medium. So
Oh,
she wants
okay.
to start doing this from home. And so
Okay.
her concerns right now are the finances she just mentioned in the
Okay.
chat.
So, Lexi, I just did a 5-card spread with an overall energy, and what I have here is there was some sort of conflict at some point that's probably within you, but like about whether or not to move forward with this. I'm guessing. And presently, there's a tower with a hidden influence of the star. The tower for me right now, it probably feels like just your like shakeup of really wanting to do this. I would guess it doesn't feel like it's bad necessarily. Maybe it is, but that's just not the feeling I was getting off of it. And the advice here is to just keep everything like in perspective, and to make sure that you love what you're doing, and to so I got the devil in the advice, and the clarifier was the Queen of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So for me, that's just like, staying in, always being aware of what's going on, keeping things clear, that kind of thing. Not going over and like worrying or being anxiety or any of that kind of stuff. That's what I'm taking the devil as in the advice. The outcome is death, which is awesome. So I think there's going to be some sort of a new beginning with this great idea that you have, because the overall energy is the 8 of Pentacles clarified by the Ace of Wands. That's a great big fat yes. I wouldn't have talked about money, and I normally don't like to listen to the other person's read, but I did just hear something that Heather was saying to you. So if money is an issue, I think you're going to overcome that based on what these cards say. So somebody's going to come in, and as long as you plug away, it is a good idea, whatever it is, however you're wanting to do this at home. And actually, maybe this King of Pentacles is somebody that's going to invest in you. I feel like the Queen of Cups was definitely you. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You know your situation, and I'm not getting to a ton of clarifiers here. But it's so funny. I've got the Tower, the Devil, and the Death card. This is one of those times that is not a bad thing at all. So it's all about knowing how to read what you're looking at. So, but anyways, that's what I got for you. Good luck.
And I also got the King of Pentacles too. So she's
Okay.
going to have some sort of, she's got the business know-how. People are going to come in. They're going to help her establish. All my cards looked really good. So that's wonderful. Lexi, if you ever want to come on and do a show and introduce yourself, and when you want to start up your business, we would be happy to be able to support you on that. And Chris, I went ahead and put the name of the deck and the creators in the chat for you. She says, I'm forever grateful. Much love. Nancy had to go. So good night, Nancy. I know you're probably already gone. And Karen says, I love that reading, Heather. Moon is the shadow work. Yes, seeing the light in between the shadows, illuminating the darkness to see what the shadows really are. I really feel like that's going to be like one of Lexi's specialties because of her abilities and her empathy with people and being able to provide that space for an individual to help them with things that are considered shadow work or trauma and things that need to be worked through. So, good luck to you, Lexi. Thank you
I
so
got
much.
something else.
Mm-hmm.
So the money with the devil there,
Mm-hmm.
whether this is your money or an investor or whatever it is, just really make sure that you're really paying attention to where you're spending and not spending anywhere you don't need to spend. So if you get a suggestion or whatever it is, double check, read, whatever. Just make sure that you're putting money where it does need to go. Whatever that means.
She says listening. So, all righty. So she's still here. Well, keep us in the loop. Let us know how it's going, Lexi. It sounds wonderful. And we have one other person request to read, and this will take us, right till really 9:30. And that is Earl. Earl would like to know if there's any message for me. Earl, is there anything specific that Allyson and I can focus on? I'm just gonna. Oh, I was gonna take a sip. I'm all out. I should probably go. I'll grab water after.
His name is Earl Rule.
No. Yeah, Earl Rule. And
okay. I'm just gonna pull general.
Okay, do a general. Okay. All right, Earl, you're gonna get a general. Yeah, Earl, your name almost looks like Tom's. Early Ritual, Earl Rule. Okay. And Earl, I am using the Hush Tarot tonight. Let's see. Oh, another Two of Swords. Some decisions that need to be made. Or decision, recent past, moving forward. Okay, moving forward, there's the Chariot. And let me just have... So, let's see what we got here. All right, I'm going to grab the book because Jeremy is an incredible writer. And I want some of this here. So, Earl, I'm just going to take your name down really quick. So, Earl, Two of Swords. You've got some decisions that need to be made. The kitties, hiding behind the mask, looking at things from a different perspective. Usually when you see the Two of Swords, someone's face is covered, their eyes can't be seen. So her eyes are kind of blinded by the kitty cats. But there is, like with Lexi's reading, there is some decisions that need to be made, or this could be recent past that have already been made. This is kind of how I'm feeling it moving forward. Like the recent past, there may still be some loose ends that you have to tie up. So I know you just did the move and you have other things going on. So the next card that I did get, though, is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups, look at those hairs. Aren't they the sweetest? So the hairs and the Six of Cups is about as nostalgia. People helping one another. It's a beautiful emotional give and take. It's that feeling of reciprocity, not with finances, but with the cups, with emotions, with support, friendship. It could be intimate, but it's just a beautiful card of kind of like two friends getting together, or one being there to support the other and do that emotional support. It's very comforting. It's very nostalgic. It makes you feel safe. And moving forward, I got the Chariot. So yeah, whatever this is moving forward, this could still represent the move that you made, or if this is something. So I know you mentioned a relationship in the past, but I feel like this is just life now starting to pick up, take momentum. Um, you know, she's on her horse. She's got control. She's moving forward. And if you look at the bottom, there's this almost like a, I don't say a swamp, but there's like broken toys and things, and so, and you're moving up and above, and you're moving like with the carousel. It's a carousel horse. You go up and down in circles, but you're still that up and down, but you're still moving forward. You're still carrying forward. And the overall energy I got is the King of Cups. So this feels very much like you, the King of Cups, very nurturing, very kind, very compassionate. You're very grounded in the way you live life, your relationships with people. You you're fair, but you also you're you're grounded emotionally. So it's not like emotional all over the place. You're just a very deep, kind, caring, compassionate individual, very much in touch with their emotions. And I just asked for a clarifier for it, and I got the Knight of Swords actually, and I want to take a look because I know that Jeremy has something very interesting for the night. Well, he's got something interesting for all of them, but I'd be keeping us here all night sharing all of Jeremy's wonderful insights. So determination. So moving forward, this could very well be to a relationship or wanting a relationship as well, because I know this has been some of the energy. But whatever this is that you are pursuing, that you are trying to move forward to, be careful it doesn't get to the point of overbearing. He says here, you embark on a new venture as if charging into battle. There is no stopping you. Allow time to think things through. So this is just worrying about shortcuts. It says here, shortcuts can blind you to complications that surround you, leading to defeat. So whatever this King of Cups, this emotions, what you're trying to offer or move forward from, just be sure to go in not aggressively. Be that King of Cups. Be very calm, compassionate, and within yourself as well. As you move forward, um, do it with patience. Do it with ease. Um, because sometimes if we move in too fast, we might say something that we didn't mean to say. There might be like miscommunication. Um, so just be centered in your emotions and grounded, and keep your thoughts. Keep calm, breathing when you come into those situations, those emotional situations. Continue to be that King of Cups, and I'll leave it there, and I'll give you over to Allyson.
What's his
Let me
name
put.
again? Is it Earl?
I'm pulling up his name. Yeah,
Earl. Hi, Earl.
Well,
So
okay.
you didn't ask anything specific.
Mm-mm.
There's something here that you are in the process of healing from, but you have made progress. The advice from Spirit is to keep doing that, keep working on that. And then you will, the sun will come out and shine on you. Not that it's not now, but you are absolutely in some sort of a healing process. Concentrate on your home, your money, work, while you deal with and heal with this thing that you do still reflect on, Four Cups energy. But yeah, you got something here in the past. It's related to some sort of a relationship, likely romantic, but it could be something else. It could be work, whatever, something that didn't work out. Here you are now in Temperance, the hidden influences, the Three of Swords. Your advice is to just keep on working on this so that the sun can shine. And again, the overall energy I have is the King of Pentacles, and the clarifier, the Four of Cups. So it's what I just said. Good luck.
So he's got several different, because he just did move, but he's hoping to meet somebody soon. He's new in his community. Hoping to meet, okay, yeah, here, hoping to meet someone new in the next few months. But like Allyson said, getting grounded, getting within yourself.
It's up to you.
Yeah. And let's see, Miss Tarot D and Tom having a bit of fun, and I think I have, yeah, I haven't seen another response, but yes. And Karen says, Earl, I believe you can manifest it. Give yourself the care first and foremost you want from others. So yeah,
there's
we really
healing
can't
energy there, but it's up to
Yeah.
you. I mean, you can jump into something before you're healed if you want.
But it's good for us to be whole and settled within ourselves and within our new home, and just really, because if we don't love ourselves or feel whole ourselves, we're not going to attract the right,
Yeah, and
people
I'll
to
say
us.
this much. Yeah, and I do feel like yes, this whole self-love thing and all that, and I'm sure you do love yourself, Earl. But what I see is you attract where you are. And I really do believe that. And I've heard that heard that a few times in my life, whatever. And then I really sat with it one day, not really meditate, but I guess you'd kind of say that it was like a movie meditation. And I went through the different relationships, and I'm talking romantic, that I'd been in. And I absolutely, everybody that I was with, when they came into my life, their energy matched mine. And when the relationship ended, which was usually with me leaving, not always, somebody had grown. Somebody had healed. And you will, it just depends. You can also be in a situation where, like, I've always had stuff. Most of us do, right? You're constantly healing from whatever you went through at some point earlier in your life and whatever. And it's not necessarily that it's bad, but obviously, or maybe not obviously, you would think that most would want to be in the best position they could be in before bringing in somebody, and then you continue hopefully to heal. But part of the issue can be, and I'm not even talking about you, Earl, I just mean in general, if you're in a broken state in some sort of way, you're still healing something, and you come into a relationship with somebody else, you're both carrying pain.
And Earl says, I am ready. I have healed from my past.
Okay.
All right. And we were having a little fun here. So Tom said, Earl, find yourself a partner that looks at you like Miss Tarot D looks at me. I just love you guys. Oh my God. And then Miss Tarot D said, but early ritual time, just don't tell Tropical Empress and Spirit. She thinks it's about her. So yeah. Lots of laughs, lots of love. Darn, I thought I was the queen here. Well, when Miss Tarot D is in the chat, girl, she reigns supreme. So already we're almost at 9:30. I haven't seen any other requests for a reading. Did you want to go ahead and end it, or do you want to wait to see if anybody asks for?
Sure, that's fine. I've had a long day.
Yeah, we don't want to keep
wax
Allyson
on my
too
table.
Long. You have what?
I spilled wax on my table, which I haven't done in a long time.
Oops.
Fun trick. I'll tell anybody that doesn't know this already. Probably a lot of you do. If you spill wax on something, which I haven't done in a long time, but I just did. I knocked a candle over. What you can do is you take an iron, just your regular iron, you put it on like a medium setting, medium to low, depending on your iron, no steam. So pour the water out of your iron if it's got any water in it. And you're going to take, you can use paper towel, like just a white paper towel, and lay it over, like if it's on carpet or a piece of fabric, which is crazy, but it actually works. And you just so you lay the paper towel on the thing. You can double it too. And you just run it over it slowly and then pick it, and it will absorb and suck the wax up into the paper towel. It's actually really cool. And then fold it over and get another clean piece of paper towel and do it until all the wax has been picked up, and it actually works.
Wow.
It's a neat process.
And you learned
it on carpet
not
too.
From Martha Stewart. There we go. Yep. Allison's next channel.
Because those of you that, most of us have knocked a candle over at some point. And it absolutely cleans it up. It's fabulous. So, yeah.
And okay, so Tropical Empress Amanda said, her name is Tropical Empress in Spirit, but I call her Tropical Empress Amanda. She says, I have a request, and I'm just waiting to see if she has a specific question. So Amanda, what's your question? So while we're waiting, here's another Miss Tarot D to Tom. Many queens in tarot. We are all queens. Let's just remember to try to be Queen of Cups foremost. Love and kindness is important. Yes, it is. And Miss Tarot D, you are the Queen of Cups to me. I love you so much. Queen of Hearts. So just waiting to see if Amanda's typing something. And Christina said, you can also put it in the freezer and the wax comes off very easily.
Yeah, that kind of works. And I have done that. And depending on what it is, sure. But like if it's on a fabric or it's on, say it's on carpet, which I hate carpet. I don't know about you guys. Cannot stand carpet. Hate carpet. Terrible invention. Because you can't properly clean it. It's just, I digress. Yes, I have a little mild, not OCD, but it's like you cannot properly clean carpet. It's a science project from the time you start using it until you get rid of it. But yeah, like if you're taking it off of a hard surface, sure, yep, or like something that's like rounded or whatever. But like if it's on fabric, like on a tablecloth or a placemat or carpet or whatever, the iron with the paper towel works great. Will I be successful finding a good job in the next few months? Yes. Yep, you will. I got that right away, but I'll pull cards on it.
Oh.
Yes, you will.
Well, how about that?
Yes, you will. Yep.
She says she's
as long
not
as
psychic.
you apply yourself. I mean, if you sit in your house and don't do anything, no, but that's an obvious, right? But as long as you apply yourself, yes. Whether you're going to want it or not, I don't know. But a good job, meaning, I assume you mean decent income. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's her first name?
It's Amanda. I'm trying to get her to come on and join us
Yeah,
on
Amanda.
Friday night. She's got
You
a
are.
channel.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. It might not be something you want to do, though.
And Karen says, yes, Allyson. I can't wait until I can remove the carpet in our bedrooms. Rest of house is
Carpet
hardwoods.
is so gross. Ugh.
I used to love carpet.
It's nasty. I love hardwood floors or Pergo or whatever. I'm not big on tile, but I'd rather have that than carpet any day. But rugs that you could throw in the wash. And those of you that have animals, I'm sorry. Even with the best of intentions, you're always going to end up with vomit or spit up or God forbid pee. That you just no. It's not practical for pet owners to have carpet. It's just not. Because once any of those have happened, even if you professionally clean it, they can still smell it. Amanda. Okay, I can go. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Yes. You just need to apply yourself. I do think it's something that will be this could be working in your community somehow, or like a you know, like if you, and I'm not saying this is what it would be. Like, let's say you got a job, you know, working for the county, or you got a job working at a bank, or you got a job working, you know, something like that. I may have the Hierophant here. Hidden influence is the Knight of Wands. This is, for me, this is you going forward with an offer. Again, it was just a feeling. I don't necessarily think this is your dream job, but it is a job you can do and that you can learn. And the pay is there. It's just whether or not you want to take it. Are you going to take it? I don't know. That's up to you. But you're asking, will you be successful in finding a good job? Yeah, you will. Whether or not you're going to want it and take it, I don't know. But the advice is 9 of Cups. It will give you what you're needing. I mean, although this is not a pentacle card, I read it like a pentacle card. And the outcome, you're going to have to say what you need. in the situation. You're gonna have to be very honest. And so, like, let's say you need to have the 4th of July off every year or something like that. You know, you need to say those things right up front. Queen of Wands, overall energy, that's an absolute yes, yes, yes. But this is about you standing in your power, saying what you need, you know, and actively finding this job, right? The Queen of Wands, she's a witch, right? Meaning she can manifest what she needs. She's got her black cat. She's very powerful. She's very charismatic. She has her magic wand. You know, she can make happen what she needs to make happen if she just applies herself. And here in the past, you have the King of Wands. So I think you might have either done this thing in the past, whatever it is that's going to manifest, or something somehow related, either strongly or loosely. But anyways, the answer is yes. That's what I got.
Okay, so Amanda, and thank you, Tom. Yes, please like and subscribe, everybody. Thank you so much.
Ooh.
Was there something you wanted
No,
to add?
actually, let me say one other thing. So at the bottom of the deck, I have the 5 of Wands with Justice. So this could be an inner conflict, but you know this is going to be good for you. This Justice card is you. You know what the right thing to do is. So maybe you need to make some money, or maybe you need to do this for some sort of reason, not necessarily permanently, whatever. 5 of Wands here. This could be a competition with another person. It could be within yourself about it, but the Justice card is here underneath it. But again, to answer your question, yes, it's just whether or not you're going to accept it or want to do it.
Okay. And Miss Tarot D says, Allyson, I love that. I have never heard of the Queen of Wands referred to as a witch.
Oh, yeah.
Totally see that now. Kiss hug. So, Amanda, I'm glad Allyson went ahead, because I'm looking at this one card going, so I got the Hangman to start off. And so looking for this job, you're going to have to maybe, it's all about, looking at things from a different perspective. Maybe looking for this job in a place where maybe you didn't think about looking for it, or it may be a job that you maybe didn't think about that you would want to do, but looking at it from a different perspective or outside of the box, it may appear to be of more interest. So for me, this is basically like looking at the work, what's available out there, from a different perspective going forward. So a new, fresh, different outlook in the approach of looking for the job. I did get the 3 of Pentacles. So yes, you are working towards that. You're probably working with people, to help maybe with a resume. You're doing social media. You're doing networking. Because for me, the 3 of Pentacles is also kind of like the networking, where we put out our resumes. We go to sites. We talk to people. So you're definitely doing, the groundwork. The next card I got is what gave me pause a little bit. So I did get the 7 of Swords. And when I pulled up my I opened it up for the decoded book to see what their take on this was. And what jumped right out at me is that it can also represent a warning about blindly trusting influential figures who place themselves in a position of authority without questioning the attention of those individuals. So it's basically and it basically goes next to say, pay attention to the man behind the curtain kind of deal. So if something looks maybe like a little bit too good to be true, just be wary of that. Again, the Hangman, the perspective. Make sure that you look at everything from all different angles. I did ask for a clarifier for that, and it gave me the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, be very careful. Look at everything. Make sure that's what it is that you want, what pay, look at the company, look at the employer, do a little bit of research. Something, like they said, may not all be as it is. Sometimes people get hired to do one job, and then they want you to do 10 others on top of that kind of thing, some sort of deception. But I also got, if you do all that, move forward, things can go smoothly. And I got the 7 of Pentacles. So again, it may take a little while, but it's going to be worth the harvest at the end. That patience is going to pay off. it's slowly going to come to fruition. And when I shuffled the cards, I was asking 3 to 6 months for you because it's hard, because energy is always shifting and changing. So I roughly did 3 to 6 months. And the overall energy, Amanda, I got the Four of Wands again. So that's about celebration. Um, yeah, it's celebration foundations. So it's overall good. Just watch for, you know, help wanted ads or a potential employer that may have like that little sleight of hand, that trickery, involved. One word for this card in this deck is called the trickster spirit. So kind of watch for some, maybe one of these jobs or a couple, or one that may stand out to you and go, wait a minute, this might be too good to be true. I better research on that. Do that. But overall, yes, you're going to be successful. So, hi, Michelle. Hi, Jonathan. And hello to Rosie, the puppy dog as well. We have the Boomer Mill. That's Michelle Marie and her husband, Jonathan. Hello. Thank you for joining us. So, that's what I have for you, Amanda. I hope that helped. She says, thank you so much, Allison.
You're
And
welcome.
Michelle and Jonathan say we've been enjoying the show via our television. Beautiful cards. And Miss Moonlight has also joined us. Hello, Miss Moonlight. Um, yep, some new people coming in, and thank you so. You're welcome, my dear. So we still have some time if there's anybody else who would like. Nope.
I gotta go. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
she's got to go. Everybody.
I
So
do. I gotta go. My dogs need to go out, and I suddenly just got. I am tired. I've been up since like
yes.
4. I'm
Oh my
pretty.
goodness, yes. We need to let
Yeah.
Allison go and get her beauty rest. So thank you everybody again for participating in the conversations in the beginning, being open and honest and supporting everyone here. And thank you for the wonderful questions and the readings. We appreciate you all. And Miss Tarot D says, thank you, Allison. So appreciate and love you, doll.
Thank you, honey.
Aw.
We love you too,
And
so much.
yes, good night, everybody. And we'll see you on one of our next shows. Night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.